Alright, question 7. Use the information diagram and proof to answer the question. Given that segment AB is congruent to segment CB, segment BD bisects angle ABC, prove that the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2. So again, the first thing I do on proofs is I duplicate the tab, pull it up, and see if I can find an example that looks similar to this one. So I'm going to just scan to see if I have a proof that is similar to this one. And that's classifying. Let's keep scanning. Okay, this one says prove. Triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle with segment AB congruent to segment AC. Okay, let's see if we have one that's closer than that, which it's not. So, let's compare. It still wants us. The pictures look very, very similar, and it's still wanting us on this one to prove that angle B is congruent to angle C, which is where the measure of angle 1 and measure of angle 2 is located. So this is set up very similarly. We're going to interpret this given AB is congruent to CB. AB right here, congruent to CB, means that they are the same length. So it is an isosceles triangle. They did give us more information though, that they said that BD bisects angle ABC. So that means that angle 3 and angle 4 are the same angle. So this is going to be a good reference because it's the same setup. So here notice it says draw AD such that D is the midpoint of BC. That's going to create the same thing as a bisect. So let's just see if where we can go, if this is going to help or not. So it says that angle 3 is congruent to angle 4, definition of angle bisector, and then segment BD is congruent to segment BD. So I'm seeing a similarity right here that we have the reflexive property of congruence. Let's just see. Triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD, and there's a blank. So I like to look and see if what they gave us matches similar to our reference one, and I'm just scanning and I'm noticing that that's a segment, that's a segment, and that's a segment. So they gave us side, side, side. If you look at what they gave us here, we have a segment, we have segments there, we have angles, and then we have a segment. So it's not the exact same statement setup, so it's not going to be side, side, side. So let's look at what they did give us. So they gave us that AB is congruent to CB, which was given. So we have our two sides, corresponding sides that are the same. And then it states right here, angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. So then we have an angle set up, an angle. So far we have side, angle, and then BD right here is reflexive to itself, so it's the same. So we have side, angle right here, our crocodile mouth, and then a side. We have a side, here's our tiny angle, and then the side. So we have side, angle, side, based on what they gave us. So this is a side, angle, side congruence postulate. So again, sometimes these will line up almost perfectly, and sometimes you'll look and say, okay, is this similar enough? And notice that it wasn't the same type of statements. Like this one was a segment, and a segment. Again, I compared it, segment, angle, segment. So notice the similarities and the differences. And that's how I would use these.